Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Drawing Board. My name is David Franklin. I'm your host and thank you so much for tuning in. And as promised, today we're going to be talking about more gender stuff. And today, as unqualified as I am to answer this question, we're going to be talking about what is attractive to women. Now, of course, I'm not a woman and it's hard for me to say what is attractive about men to women. However, I can present what science has to say on the matter. And science on the topic of what women find attractive, it does start to overlap a little bit with a topic I'm very passionate about. What does it mean to be a man? So, we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I will argue that the alpha is always the most attractive to the woman. I'll say that again, and then I will defend my point because I know that's a very controversial thing to say. The alpha is always the most attractive to a woman. Unless, of course, there was some sort of nurture issue. But by nature, the alpha is always most attractive. Now, what is an alpha is what's going to sort of redeem that statement, because that's a bold statement. So what is an alpha? Well, an alpha is someone who is most likely to survive in a situation. And in human relationships, which are usually long-term and monogamous, hopefully, it means the person who keeps both entities more likely to survive in the long run. So, an alpha we usually think of as being big and burly, strong, steady, a good provider, all those sorts of things. And that's a very traditional idea of what an alpha looks like. But let's take the big and strong guy, and let's say in one situation, they were to, let's just say they're fighting a mastodon. The big and strong guy is going to find advantage in killing the mastodon and standing up to it because he's not fast enough to run away. But someone who might be leaner and faster, they might be able to run away and stay safe in that way. So there are certain situations in which one person may survive and another person may survive. And neither one has, from an evolutionary standpoint, has proven to be so much better than the other one that it has been weeded out inside of people. Some people are fast, some people are really, really big and really strong. And so both of those are advantages in their own situations. So in their own situations, those are desirable alpha-like qualities. Being creative usually shows intelligence. Some people like creativity. Some people don't like creativity. Intelligence. We'll get to that later, but intelligence can be seen as an alpha trait. But in some situations, your brains aren't going to get the job done. Muscles are. So there are a lot of traits that are desirable and are more or less desirable based on who is doing the desiring. But there are a lot of these traits that can make you an alpha, but what is an alpha is so subjective, it depends on the person. So if you are a woman, or a man, I suppose, you out there, you have your particular taste in people and what you think is great about someone. That, for you, is your version of an alpha, and so that's why I will defend that point. There is no one idea of what an alpha looks like, so you are basically going to go after what is best for you, what makes you happiest, and what's going to give you the best quality of life. That's all I'm saying there. So, taking that down the road for what an idea of an alpha is, should that be a good, nice guy? Because we hear so often on the internet that nice guys finish last, right? Should you be a good or nice guy, or should you be that sort of dominant, domineering, sort of I'm in charge kind of guy? Well, or a bad boy. Let's say that. A bad boy, he's a little bit of a jerk to someone. Which one is better? I'm a big proponent of there usually being more options than the two extremes we're usually given. So the bad boy obviously has its disadvantages because you're probably more likely to be cheated on. You're going to be put down. That's going to lead to a lower quality and happiness in life. That's going to lead to, if someone's a jerk and really doesn't buy into the whole monogamy thing, they're more likely to cheat on you or leave you altogether. Also, not good things. But the good guy might be too pandering. They might be, oh, love me, and that's not attractive either. So usually there's probably an assertive person in the middle who's both nice and not too terrible. And there's this really interesting thing. With women, their greatest danger now and historically has always been men. It's usually, I mean, every once in a while, I'm sure like a mastodon killed some women, but more than likely, a man has killed them or killed their family. We have two warring tribes. The Iliad is all about two groups of people basically going over war over a woman. Helen of Troy, if you're a Greek person. So, you know, men are such a danger to women, whether they're starting wars for them, whether they're getting into fights about them, whether they're actually attacking the woman, trying to take them by force, whether they're killing them because they're angry or whatever. Men are a big, big danger to women, and women know this. They know it from what they've learned in life, and they know it from an instinctual standpoint. Men are dangerous. So, generally speaking, that's why you should be a good guy at least a little bit, because women, rightfully so, should be pretty scared of men because we've done some pretty horrific things as a group historically. So, giving off good traits, saying that you're a good guy, that's usually a good thing. So, in a sort of wolf pack type idea, there are two different types of wolves that would claim the alpha role in the group. One is the pack leader, who's there because, you know, he's fair to everyone. When they get a kill, he distributes the food fairly, and everyone likes that alpha, and that's a good thing. They've been elected. They've basically been elected because people want them there. And then there's the sort of tyrant alpha, who is the biggest and the strongest, and no one dares challenge their authority. And they sort of piece together a group because the group serves their greater chance of survival, but not because they want to be in the group, just because they want the best chance of surviving. And that works all right in a wolf group, I suppose, and sometimes even for humans. But as humans, we're extremely social creatures, and so the ability to trust someone is extremely vital. So I know if you were in a group, I can almost certainly bet that you prefer someone who you thought was good and fair rather than someone who was not good or fair at all, but simply you couldn't stand up to them. And I don't even think that's just a Western idea. I think that's a human idea. We understand that. So how do you break down if you're going for that assertive, if you're going for that leader thing? How do you kind of come off as a nice, trustable guy? Well, one of the things for women is if you have a big friend group, because if they know absolutely nothing about you, but they see that you're good with people, especially as trivial and stupid as it is, a wingman can seriously help because it shows that people like you, and if you're a likable person, you're probably more safe than the average Joe Schmo. So, if you're hanging out places, if you've got a wingman, if you've got a bunch of friends around, or if you make friends quickly, like let's say you're at a coffee shop and you bump into someone who you know and you're all smiles and high fives and, you know, the bro hug or whatever, it's going to show that you're a more likable person. That generally raises lowers people's walls down because they think you're more trustable. There's one more thing with friends. Can't think of it. So, on that, is it better, let's go to the two extremes, is it better to be sort of a sensitive, pacifist, sort of modern enlightened person who decides, you know what, men don't fight with their fists, they fight with their words, there's no need for that anymore? Or is it better to be the sort of traditional Spartan kind of take charge, kick butt if you challenge me kind of ideal? And unfortunately, I can't give you an answer to that because it depends so greatly by culture, by individual, and that's just not a good answer. But pretty universally, one way or another, there is a fairly attractive trait that unites the two of them, and that is being calm under pressure. So if you're the big Spartan guy and you get into a fight at the bar, not being outwardly scared to be in the fight, not going, oh, what if he hits me? What if he damages my face? That's not going to be attractive. You want to calmly get into the fight, whether you're diffusing it or not, or actually getting into the fight. If you act like you're scared, that's generally not a good trait. And let's say you're a pacifist, you aren't about fighting, you solve situations with your words, but you're at a party, someone gets drunk and they fall into a pool and they're drowning. Running around and saying, oh my God, what's happening? What do I do? What do I do? The person's drowning in there. That is nowhere near as attractive as someone who calmly goes, you know what? I got this. They dive in, they help get the person out. They say, you know, is anyone here a doctor? They do the compressions on and off, and that's just, it's a way to be strong and protective without being violent. And both of those are attractive in their own way to their own people. But one way or another, being calm under pressure is generally attractive to women. So I can't really give you some great answers, but two traits fairly often: assertiveness, which usually goes hand in hand with confidence, and confidence can be faked. And I'll on that with another episode. But assertiveness and being calm under pressure. There's other things like intelligence, and we'll get more into that on the what is attractive to men episode, because I think that's a more important question to answer there. Personality, education, earning potential, looks, obviously. You really can't leave that out. I know it's trivial, but it does play a role. So there are a lot of other little traits there, but two big ones that are fairly universal: assertiveness / confidence, and being cool under pressure. So I hope that answers your question. If you came to this video trying to be a pickup artist, this isn't going to help you. This is more of a sciencey sort of channel and talking about just what science can prove. So anyways, thank you so much, and make sure to tune in a couple days from now. We're going to be talking about what is sexy to men. And I think you're going to be surprised. I'm actually going to be breaking down a lot more assumptions than I am giving answers, and that's kind of what I did today, but just expect that. But yeah, check in then. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being a patron. If you like this video, like and share it. It really helps other people find the channel, and I know a lot of you have commented saying, oh, you deserve so many more subscribers, and I don't know if I deserve more subscribers, but if you feel that way about the channel, liking and subscribing can really help me get the message out there and help more people find me. So thank you very much again for watching, and we'll see you in a couple of days. Bye.